Battlefield's trying to become a competitive shooter? Why?
Wait, what about my rush?
Don't worry,
My conquest?
don't worry. Your conquest and rush is not going anywhere. It's still there. Don't worry. Guys, relax. Just because Battlefield is trying to be a competitive shooter these days, don't worry. You still have your multiplayer modes as usual. So anyway, we'll talk about that. Welcome to Battlefield 1 Podcast, the best Battlefield-related podcast on the planet, statistically. My name is Tom, also known as TheLankySoldier. I'm your sexy and intelligent host, as usual. And I'm joined by Ray Edmunds.
Good evening, good day, or whatever your respective time is, whenever you're listening to this. I don't know, you could be sitting around on the toilet for listening to us for all.
You know what,
But hello!
if someone's listening to us on the toilet, I respect that. I
mean, business is business, friend. Business is business. Not judging.
Okay, but yeah.
I am never here to judge, only to point and laugh.
Yeah, anyway, we're gonna talk about all that stuff later. But competitive Battlefield, that's a thing, that's happening, and we're gonna talk about it. And there's some stuff happened and everything, we'll discuss it. But anyway, let's just talk about Battlefield. Let's just go there.
But then when you've got Angel screaming, Angel does it again, and
That was something, right?
that was something.
I'm sorry, you canceled the support for the game a month ago.
Why would they even host a trade?
I don't know.
And I sit down and he picks up one donut and eats it. So you want to like QA games?
When the rubber meets the road, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I don't like seeing Mario get his skull smashed.
Oh, I would love
It
to see
doesn't
that.
work."
I would love to
Yeah,
see
again.
First and foremost, I do want to thank everyone for joining us for this amazing evening, night, morning, whatever your time zone is. For me, it's almost 1 a.m. So thank you for making Battlefield 1 podcast part of your routine. Just listening to us for an hour about Battlefield. Thank you so much for joining us, and especially thank you so much to our Patreon users that help us financially with everything. Your support literally helps us with the podcast, with everything that we're doing, motivates us to make it a perfect show. And patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. And speaking of Patreon, I'm just gonna straight go to the point. So this is my second time recording this episode. And the reason I'm recording this the second time is because Ray originally told me that he's probably not gonna be available to record with me. So there will be 3 episodes in a row without him. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I made some notes and everything, and I'm just gonna record by myself. Which I did. I recorded it. Podcast was already edited. That episode was edited. I edited it. If anyone knows the meme. Anyway, so the episode was done. About to be posted on Patreon. Next thing you know, this motherfucker messages me. Oh wait, I can record today. I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? Do I post, do we record another live gaming gathering? I don't feel like it because we recorded one on Tuesday. We talked about Goldman Railway. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that. I guess let's redo this episode. This is my second time redoing this episode. But I don't want to waste that episode. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna post that I'm gonna post that episode on Patreon as a Patreon exclusive, and I'll just name it unreleased episode or something like that. So you can listen to 2 episodes this week if you're on Patreon. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Behind the scenes content.
Not really.
In my defense, look.
I don't do defenses here.
My work has been ridiculously crazy
Excuses.
years of late. My boss was making it out like, we're going to be there all day till 5 o'clock. And the
Don't
rule
care.
was, if you didn't hear from me from 9, do your shit. And you followed that to your credit, and that's fine.
I did.
I made the mistake of letting you know I got fucking done at 3 o'clock in the afternoon then. If that's the case, next time I just won't.
You probably should be quiet. Yeah, you should be probably quiet because I know.
I probably should have shut the fuck up.
Yep.
But I was being nice.
You should be quiet.
I
Yeah.
was like, man, maybe if you haven't gotten it done yet, I'll let you know, and we can powwow. But my bad. I'm fucking sorry. Goddamn. I mean, it fucking shit. It's and if it's any consolation for disappointment, I spent a fucking hour tearing into my truck to realize I didn't have half the parts that I fucking needed and had to put it all back together to go home. So we've both fucking had shitty Saturdays with projects that we got to restart next weekend or at some point or another.
So yeah, the episode I recorded today will be posted on Patreon for you to listen. So you can listen to 2 episodes. Some topics will be similar, but because I have Ray now, there will be a different conversation entirely. I already know that. And it was 1 hour long episode, so I'm like, you know what, you know what, fuck it. I'll just post.
Your time?
Yeah, it's already fully it's fully edited and everything is like, doesn't have any ads, like it's already gonna be posted. So I'm like, okay, you know what, fuck it. Go listen on Patreon if you really want to listen to that episode where I talk about stuff. So anyway, yeah. So because this is the second time I'm recording this episode, I'm just gonna say what we're gonna ignore from this list. We're gonna ignore the patch notes because nothing much in those patch notes that is that interesting for you to listen. So again, it's on Patreon, listen to that. It's just like, some bug fixes. But I do want to address this though, quickly. It's the AI stupid cosmetics that in the game. So in the patch notes, they did say they're addressing those. And the pessimist in me thinking, oh, did you fix it with real art or you just fixed it with AI so it looks less like AI? That's what I'm thinking.
My comment on this one is I mean, have you seen the movie Spaceballs?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, of course you've seen it, right? Everybody and their mother's seen that movie. You know where he's like, you're always preparing. You need to stop preparing. You're always preparing. Just go. Stop. To the developers. Stop saying you're going to address the thing and just fucking address it. Is what is my point at right now. That shit's been out in the wild for a hot minute. Addressing it is beyond that point. Just address it. And stop telling us you're going to address it. Just do it. Sometimes you don't have to fanfare and you don't have to announce your departure like a fucking airport.
Well, I love the patch notes literally said, why the notes are yellow, Ray? What the fuck?
That's so I ignore them.
Anyways, I like how the patch notes literally said, update the objective Ace and Winter Warning cosmetics to better align with Battlefield's visual identity. So that's what we...
And that would be...
Yeah, allow rewarding the so corporately to align with Battlefield's visual identity. Bro, you just used AI slop. Oh my god. So that's all I want to mention about the patch notes.
Oh man, it's... HR department at EA has become the mainframes from Fallout.
It's every HR in corporate. It's kind of worth it. Okay, moving on. Okay, so there was I did a conversation on the Patreon thing. Well, that today's episode I did about Global Railway and not Global Railway, propaganda and some cancelled maps. So we're not gonna talk about that. But no, we're gonna just go straight to Portal. So, Portal thing. So I saw an interesting, well, not interesting, more like just a post on the subreddit for the Battlefield subreddit. And it was basically some guy complaining that his creation, his experience, was removed from Battlefield Portal because it doesn't align with the rules they have set. Now, you might imagine what kind of rules we're talking about here. It's basically he was remaking Call of Duty Zombies mode in Battlefield Portal. Now, remaking the mode itself is not the problem. But the reason why I find this interesting is because I don't really understand why people are bitching about it that it got removed. Of course it will be removed. Now, when I say that, because I said the game mode is itself not the problem, what he was doing, if you go down deep the rabbit hole, like at first it sounds like really ridiculous, right? Like, why would EA remove that? What's the point of Portal, right? The reason it was removed is because my dude was literally making maps word to word, bar to bar. It's the same layouts and everything from Call of Duty Zombies. That's the problem.
And that's where he screwed up. Now, to those type of here's the funny part about it is you can kind of do those types of things to the point where legal department really kind of can't say that type shit. Like, if he would have just done the mechanics and everything and called it something completely else, not even related to thereof, because I know I'm pretty sure he advertised it as like as zombies parody or some shit like that.
Well,
whatever.
there's two guys apparently, maybe even more, but there's a couple of guys. There's one guy that is remaking zombies, the actual game mode, but he's making his own layouts and maps and everything, and his own spin on the zombie formula, even though it's kind of the same thing, but it's like embarrassing. But the other guy was literally making even the maps being the same as Call of Duty maps.
Layout for layout,
Yeah.
floor for floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Is person A still doing their shit? Did their shit get removed? Just out of curiosity?
Let me check. No, the one that is making his own spin, he's actually got contacted by developers, and it will be probably a verified experience soon.
So, and let this be a lesson, creatives. You can take someone's mechanics, you can take the rules of their sandbox and use them to create your own sandbox, for rules for the most part are not really trademarked, but things like layouts, those kind of are, and they are. So if you're going to do that type of stuff, think like a modder. Don't do the official stuff. Put your creative spin on it and do your own type of maps. Even if you want to take and make sections and create your own type of sections in between some random copy pasta shit once in a great while, fine. There's the acceptable thing. But 50% rule doesn't really apply anymore. It's more like you've got to be like 75% your own shit nowadays. So keep that in mind going forward.
Here's the thing is, like, I don't want to defend EA in this case, because people bitching about, for example, I'm going to this thread right now. The top comment is right now, unfortunately, EA killed Portal from day one. No creators want to put the effort when EA will just wipe all your hard work from existence. No players want to play Portal modes because they're all dead and pain in the ass to join. Okay, so that's a bit vague as fuck.
It's not the whole reason, though. It's not the whole reason why Portal's shit. I mean,
no.
and this whole thing is...
People don't see the full picture.
It's not even fucking relative, and it's not a big picture thing. This would be like if Call of Duty literally remade fucking Gold Mud Railway in their own game. EA would be like, fuck no, you can't do that. I mean, they don't care, even if it's in their own Call of Duty spin. It would never happen. It would never be allowed. And if Call of Duty ever, God forbid, made a map editor, they would never allow that to happen. This is one of the reasons why this type of stuff is not as common anymore, because the legal implications and the legal nightmares of it. You can't copy pasta shit. You can't copy everything, spot for spot. You can't do it. You've got to put your spins on it. You've got to put your touches to it in order to change it enough to potentially get around that. Hey, you basically just photocopied this and put it in a different game. You can't do that. This is not fucking Source. This isn't, Minecraft. This isn't Gmod or any of that shit. You can't get away with that. It's a licensed game. It's a big selling game, and the legal department is not going to let you get away with that shit. I'm not saying don't be creative. I'm not saying don't be like, hey, I want to fucking somehow or another make Splatoon happen in Battlefield. If somebody could pull that off and do it, by all means, do it. But don't call it Splatoon in Battlefield.
I don't know if...
and expect EA Legal to not be like, whoa, Nintendo's going to crawl up our ass.
Yeah, maybe call
it Battlefield Paint Wars.
Okay, I don't know about calling it. It depends.
It does. It really does.
They're calling it...
It's all in a name and a lot because the name draws the attention in the first place.
Yeah, okay, good point. But yeah, my basically comment about all this is, like, I'm actually thinking going to Portal and making something because I want to remake Incursions, for example, which we're going to talk about compared to Battlefield, for example, later. I want to remake Incursions because I think Incursions back in Battlefield 1 was a fantastic thing that never left alpha stage, and it kind of stayed in there, and it never got released to retail, which is unfortunate. But I would like, okay, one, that's a Battlefield-owned property, so it's will be a safe thing to do. But let's say another, let's say Call of Duty owned that property. Let's say you can remake the game modes in Portal. That's fine, but don't call them that, and don't make the maps to be the same exactly as the other game. That's the problem. That's the thing. Like, put your spin on it. Put your, creations on. Like, for example, if I'm making remaking incursions in Portal, I'm not gonna replicate the same map that we had back in Battlefield 1, which was giant. I forgot the map name. Fallen Giant or some shit. I don't remember. Giant Shadow. I don't know. One of the maps that in Battlefield.
But wait a minute. I mean, that's one thing. You're remaking a Battlefield map in a Battlefield title. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
that's perfectly fine.
That's fine.
But you couldn't be like, I'm gonna fucking make Incursions 5v5, and I'm gonna make a pixel by pixel replication of Rust from Call of Duty.
Yeah,
you can't do that. You would have to, you as a community, that type of shit would have to be something like, okay, well, we've all agreed for some reason or another. I don't really personally think it's the best fucking multiplayer map in existence. That is a loaded top tier question. But it's up there. That being said, what would be the wise course of action to be would be like, okay, Rust is Rust. Rust was great for what it was back in the day. Let's improve Rust for modern day, for modern mechanics, new shit. And not call it Rust, and you'd be fine. You could literally take one of the factories from fucking Firestorm, okay? The scaffolding area that's right there by the tanks on Alpha and Bravo, and I believe it's an Alpha. Yeah, Alpha has the big factory, and then Bravo has the buildings that's up the road. Or is it? No.
Doesn't matter.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, everybody knows where the fuck I'm at right now, okay? The big factory, the big refinery. Take that scaffolding area, the middle building, and just square out 10 feet around that perimeter area, cut that building out, and you could call that Rust in Battlefield, but it's not Rust in Battlefield. It's just Battlefield's Rust, but you would call it something else. Call it refined.
You know what gets to me? It's that I don't understand people that want to recreate same thing, but in a different game. Like,
it's fucking nostalgia, dude. Just everything.
It
drives our generation like goddamn gasoline.
Put some sort of spin on it. For example,
that's the thing.
For example, this bothers me. For example, I don't know if I want to blame someone for that or whatever, or call them out. I don't know. But that's my personal problem. Like, when it comes to, like, because I'm a type of guy that wants to look at quality, right? So, for example, someone remade Operation Metro. I saw a guy remade Metro. I joined the server. Funny enough, he had 64 players on it, so people played it. So I'm like, okay, 64-player Metro server. I joined. Yes, my dude recreated Operation Metro almost identically. The layout and everything and the flags, it's there. Cool. But what's the
hats off?
Yeah, but what's the problem I had? What's the problem that I had with it? That I almost instantly just quit because I didn't care. Okay, one, Portal XP. I'm not even talking about that. The reason I just said no, like I played for like a minute and just like, I'll leave, is because the map looked like shit. And it's not because the map looked like shit because the limitations. It's just the person that created this just did not put any effort into make the map a bit more, finished, polished, whatever. My dude just took walls, added some cover for assets he found, add the floor or whatever, and call it a day. Dude, like, I understand.
It's poor man's Metro.
Like, yeah, it looks like a first draft from developers that were making if this map can work on Battlefield 6. And I'm like, you could put some effort in here, please? Like, I understand you just want to replicate the layer and everything.
All right, hold on. I want to stop you right there because I know where you're gonna go with this. I understand where you're gonna go with that. Yes, put more polish, put more backbone into some of the maps, especially if you're gonna try and recreate maps. I get that. But I know I know my own argument is gonna be undercut a slight bit, and I know you're going to, so I accept it. There are certain modders and map builders who basically like tread waters when it comes to ideas and stuff, so they will rough draft stuff. Now, that's fine. If it's gotten very popular and it's and there's more people that are playing it, definitely then go in and polish it up, but let somehow know in the announcements or whatever that you're doing it instead of just letting it be until the next person picks up and does it, which inevitably will happen one way or another.
See,
and I get that it's Metro, and of course it should be a popular map. That was
for me. It's the first
impressions.
For me, it's the first impressions. If I from the first impression I don't like it, I will never come back to that server.
True.
Like, I mean, here's the thing.
I wouldn't say treat Portal experiences like individual maps, because in some cases, honestly, you got to treat them like individual games.
Yeah.
And you should. Like early access games, I would say that. And that's why I want to start doing like refinement, like episodes where we look at certain stuff and we bring light to certain stuff, because I want us to be able to kind of like build a catalog of some of these really great experiences, and then potentially go back and revisit them and see if they've gotten better.
Yeah, but it's just for me it's just the first impression. Like, here's the thing: if people enjoy that, that's fine. You do you. But for me personally, it's not that. And of course, we'll probably do a separate episode just about Portal alone, because that alone is just like so much to cover and so much to talk about and everything. Heck, we're just talking about the creation itself. We're not even talking about the problems of, like, joining the servers, finding the players to join these servers, all that kind of stuff, right? Just the filtering of
invite process, the fact that party management hardly exists in this game, except for outside of 4 people.
Yeah, that too. Like it's just organizing all of it. It's just a bit shit.
It's a pain, and it shouldn't have to be.
Yeah, it kind of is.
If only there were games in this franchise where we had tools where that wasn't a problem. But my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever see those days.
Yeah, they need to kind of...
We've never seen those days, Tomas.
Tomas.
We've never been able to manage a whole entire 2-team match at one point in time in this franchise. We've never been able to do it.
But yeah, basically my message to all the people that try to make on Portal, just make your own spin on it. Don't recreate stuff and then complain, oh, EA is killing servers. No, they're not. They're just protecting themselves. I hate to defend EA, but legal is there for a reason. Legal is there to defend the company from bad actors. Even when the good actors...
The best thing...
What?
The best way I've ever heard it, imitation may be flattery, but legal department is a bitch.
Nice one. Yeah, and it's not like we haven't dealt with legal. It's annoying, but I understand where they're coming from. Shitty, but I understand.
I mean, it is. It's pretty much like somebody basically ripping your work, and that is what it is. But yeah, don't 1-for-1 shit. Bad.
I'm just reading the comments on that thread. I'm like, just only one comment that had common sense. Like, for example, I love this one which basically says exactly what I'm saying. Maybe, just maybe, make original content instead of ripping off competitors' IP without consent. It's like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it's people have to understand. It's not the problem. Is not the game mode or whatever. It's what you do with the game mode. Don't remake the fucking maps. Be a bit more creative.
Again, acknowledging that this is all still like one sliver side of the whole goddamn coin as to why Portal is not doing very well right now.
It's only one of the it's only one piece.
One of many facets of this multi-sided dice.
And we already talked about, I don't know how many episodes ago, there was an interview with Ripple Effect developer. He agrees that Portal needs a lot of work, and they're working on it. So Godspeed to them, I guess. All right, before we go into the main topic of this episode, RedSec and competitive, all that kind of stuff, let's talk about something else. Patreon. Ray, Patreon. As you already heard at the
Patreon.
Yeah, as you all heard at the start of the episode, I was recording an episode by myself because Ray was not available. Then he messaged me and he says he's available. So I posted that episode on Patreon. And there's a reason for that. It's because you guys that support us with your money, your hard-earned money, to make sure that this podcast is keeps growing and being, what's the word I'm looking for, consistent, a new episode every week. There's a reason for that. It's because patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. So if you want to listen to that episode, go to the Patreon, listen to that. Of course, there's not only that. If you subscribe to Patreon, you're gonna get early access to our future episodes for just $2, ad-free. You won't hear this ad, for example, if you're listening on Patreon. So you get early access ad-free, because I don't believe that you should give us money just because. I believe that you should get something out of it. So if you're paying us, giving us money, the least I can do is provide you early access and some content. And if you do subscribe for the content on Patreon, we do have like bonus episodes, live gaming gathering. We recorded one last Tuesday where we talked about Golmud, and we had a good time. It was very casual, simple, no drama, and
Good stuff.
yeah, it was really an interesting episode to listen and record and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was our 58th episode. So 58 episodes of just live gaming gathering, and there's other stuff like longer videos, behind the scenes, some other episodes that you can listen. It's basically hours of content, and just for $5 a month. And if you subscribe just for 1 month, it's okay. I'm not gonna judge you. Your name's still gonna feature in the credits at the end of the episode as usual, because I always
And
update
you
the names.
still bought him and I at least 1 cup of coffee across 1 month in our dreams.
Yep, pretty much. So that's that kind of it. So just quick and short, thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you for joining our Patreon. And if you're new here and you want to support us and everything, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. Get your early access, get some content, and you help us out, because the money you're gonna be sending, it's not gonna go directly to some company. It's gonna go directly to us. It's not gonna be like,
Your financial support is greatly appreciated.
yeah, it's not like YouTube is gonna take a cut or anything. It goes directly to us. So thank you guys for everything, and let's just continue talking about Battlefield. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay. Right, so main topic. Compared to Battlefield is happening, right? Without getting into too much detail. Actually, you know what? Before I'll go to the detail. What we're gonna talk about first is basically, last episode I was talking about comparative Battlefield, that some details got leaked. I didn't mention that much. I just mentioned that, hey, it's mentioned in the files. That's it. This past week, someone went through the files again and went properly going through the files, and he found out I need to find the person actually who leaked it. It was a guy named Vanik. He posted on the subreddit all the leaks for Season 2 regarding RedSec. And RedSec is getting a ranked mode. A Battle Royale ranked mode. And in that subreddit, in that post, that it says, the Battle Royale appears to be receiving a dedicated rank mode. Progression, players can collect ranked points to advance into higher divisions. Structure, divisions are separated into smaller tallies, like Gold 1, Gold 2, and so on. Rewards, advancing into higher division will grant you rewards. He doesn't specify which rewards, because he doesn't know, because he can't find out yet. And there's of course a protection thing. If you progress to a next rank or whatever, you have one bad game, that's fine. You're not gonna go down the ranks, because there's some protection for bad games once in a while, because they do happen, which is fair. And he posted some other stuff about the gas zones, new weapons, new contracts, new gauntlet mission, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the most important thing from all of this is RedSec rank mode. How you feel about it?
If it'll make people who are interested in it happy, I'm fine with it. To me, it just sounds like your run-of-the-mill ranked mode. Like, do good, get good carrots. Do bad, lose getting good carrots.
The thing with this, for me, I'm really... Okay.
Do really bad, get no carrots, demotion, and people laugh at you when you log into your Electronic Arts account.
With me, I'm really excited for ranked mode, just because I love ranked modes in competitive. In games like just first-person shooters, right? I do love ranked modes. I love it in Call of Duty. I like it in, listen, I don't like CS, for example, but I'll gladly play ranked CS, because it's fun. The idea of competition, the spirit of competition, right? That's what.
Right, I get that.
Yeah, that's what makes me.
It's not that I don't. We both share that clearly, because what brought us together in the first place. My thing is I prefer that in an organized environment instead of a solo environment. That being said,
Well, it's not gonna. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be okay. He doesn't know. I don't think anyone knows, except the developers. We don't know if it's gonna be squads or trios, or by some stupid chance duos.
probably the wildest of the wildest thing, it would be fucking solos. That'd be the only way you'd get solos.
No, okay, no, right. That's your solos are coming, but you're never gonna have ranked solos. Never. It's not happening. It's just not happening.
He thinks it's never gonna happen.
Ranked solos not happening. Not happening. It's it's not happening because it's dumb. It's dumb. Especially for Battle Royale. But the question is,
if your argument is the fact that it's dumb, it shouldn't happen.
okay, why would
is the fact that it won't happen, my friend?
Why would Rex?
We're talking about the wrong company.
All right. One, we don't have solos yet. They're gonna test it in labs. And two, why would you want Battle Royale solos ranked? Give me a reason.
Who said I would want it?
Then what the fuck we talking about here?
I wouldn't put it past them to do it, though. That's the thing.
Okay, you know what? But still, okay. Squads or trios? Squads or trios?
Would make the most sense.
Yeah, but which one it makes most sense to you?
Squads, format.
Trios. Squads is too hectic.
Trios. Well, I mean, again, you're talking about Battlefield. Battlefield is hectic. It's chaos. Let's stop.
Yeah, but you're in a
that.
comparative environment. You do need more organization and less.
I know.
Less random stuff.
Know.
But
we always used to take advantage of that stuff.
You know what? I think they're gonna go squads because they don't think about this. I mentioned this on the Patreon. I mentioned in this episode I record today. Listen again on Patreon, patreon.com/TheLankySoldier. I mentioned on that episode that I think they're gonna go with squads because Elite Series is squads. So it only makes sense that your main tournament and ranked mode are the same in terms of rule sets, in terms of gameplay, in terms of everything. You practice ranked so you can play in the tournament, or vice versa. Like that should be the same. That being said, after playing RedSec, for a lot, RedSec when it comes to squads is extremely chaotic. No matter if I have a 4 squad, like you have a full stack, right? It's fine. You have a full stack of friends and everything and competing and trying to win the game. That's fine. It's really chaotic even for 4s. Trios is probably the most optimal because it still has you still can play with the squads, because you can create your own squad combinations and everything on that kind of stuff. Also, there's another conversation that squads should be locked. Only one player should be able to rock one class, so that's one thing. And
I do agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think because the meta right now is 3 recons and
that's
one.
Fair.
Yeah, it's like 3 recons and one class of whatever. Like so class should be locked. But what gets to me? So I already mentioned this on that episode, but I'm gonna mention this again here. What's gonna happen? This ranked mode is gonna be so fucking bare bones because they haven't learned the lessons that other games learned already. So let's say, for comparison, let's take Call of Duty Warzone, for example, because people love to compare RedSec to Warzone, which I think is a fair comparison. Warzone,
Closest one. Yeah.
Warzone is that type of game that had ranked mode for like 3-4 years now, right? It had different iterations, different rules sets and everything, but at that point, Activision, or studios, whoever, they learned their lessons from each year how ranked mode should be working. Some succeeded, some did not. They learned their lessons. Battlefield never had a ranked mode. Ever. We never had a ranked mode or anything like that. We had organized tournaments, but we never had on a casual level that anyone can participate in some sort of ranked mode. Battlefield never had it. Battlefield was always known as the casual shooter. Big battles, tanks and helis and jets flying around there. We never had ranked mode. It was never known as the competitive. The Battlefield community is still cringing about, Battlefield shouldn't be competitive, when the Battlefield franchise is the perfect game, the perfect franchise to be a competitive shooter. So we never had ranked mode. This is the first time they will ever have ranked mode. And of course, people say, well, not in multiplayer. I'll mention that in a second. Because Battle Royale is kind of established genre. Stuff is already... People, like developers, like see what other developers doing with their Battle Royales. They can learn something. But because Battlefield never had a rank mode, they're gonna do the same mistakes that other studios did during that time, where they were making their own rank mode. So this rank mode, when it's gonna come out in Season 2, is gonna be bare bones, probably squads, probably not gonna be any restrictions too, which is not a good thing. And there's something else that's gonna be like not good. Maybe the reward's gonna be shit.
All right,
Maybe.
hold up. What? No restrictions. What restrictions?
Well, for example, the classes.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah,
That's
that
a
would
restriction.
be- okay, any others?
Well, certain weapons could, or certain mechanics, for example, infrared, thermals should not be in Battle Royale. Thermals, for example, should be banned.
Then that means you're getting rid of a lot of the airstrikes and the gas strikes. And...
If the airstrike is or something is broken, yes, it should be removed. For example, the airstrikes, I should remove the airstrikes. For example, again, going back to that,
for competitive.
I'm
just clarifying what
So,
would be
for
what
example,
would
this
be on the table for restrictions.
yeah, okay.
as
For
far as
example,
anything goes, because-
the stupid kill streak, not kill streak, the thing that killed me in a tank while I was like fucking miles away from that. From the last couple of episodes where we talked about RedSec.
the bombing run.
Yeah, the bombing run.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure that was a bombing run.
Yeah, that should be removed until it's fixed. It should not be in ranked. Because ranked is supposed to be organized, everything's to a T. That you know what works, how it works, and should be predictable. You should not be... Like, if that was a ranked mode when I died, if you want to know what I'm talking about, go listen to that episode where we talked about RedSec, like 3 episodes ago. I would talked about why I died in a tank, with no notification, nothing telling me what fucking killed me, and we learned it was just the airstrike, because the missile went down the hill, it was like almost a 90 degree, and killed me. I had no idea it's coming.
Yeah.
If that happened in ranked mode, and you lose points in rank because of that, I will be straight going to developers themselves and telling you, what the fuck is this shit? That shit like that cannot happen in
as
ranked.
long as it's broken, as long as it's legitimately broken.
As long as it makes sense, yeah.
And I get that. But, I mean, for me personally, if you're going to play a game ranked mode, it's the rules set forth are the ones that are put in by the developers. Now, if a mechanic is broken, that's one thing. If it's functioning and it's working the way it's intended, then by all means, fine. But I could also argue among things of if we're going to go to the level of broken or unfair, then... shooting in some cases right now is kind of broken and unfair with some guns. Movement is a little bit, I would argue, kind of broken and unfair, and sometimes I don't feel like I can fucking fall back quick enough, get back into cover quick enough. I don't feel like my character reacts quick enough. I could argue that's kind of broken. So overall, if I would go down that road as far as arguments go, then I would say that Battlefield really probably isn't ready to be a competitive shooter at this time. And they really shouldn't be worried about fucking competitive and ranked modes and shit like that right now. My argument is I'm fine with the competitive. I would love for this shit. I want it. I want the community management of it well so that not just RedSec could be organized easily, but as well as the online multiplayer, which we'll get to that later with all of this. That being said, fucking fix the game so that the rules set forth are set in stone.
Yeah.
And like I've said a million times before, stop fucking with it, leave it alone, and just go forward with other things. And set new rules later down the line if you want. Add new things that add new rules. New guns, new explosives, new gas that makes you hallucinate and see targets in front of you.
Fuck that shit. I hate the fact they added that. I hate the fact that... I hate the fact...
I do as well. I'm disgusted by it. But if it's a thing that the developers feel they want to put into their game, unfortunately, that is their right path to
Thankfully,
do, whether I like it or not.
Thankfully, they can remove that for ranked mode, the gas gun rates.
But hold on, hold up. Is it broken?
It's not...
If it's broken...
It's annoying and very unpredictable. That's the
Right,
thing.
but you could be annoying and unpredictable with a lot of shit
That's
in this
fine,
game,
but
and
you
it's
have
not banned.
the point
But
of comparative type of stuff like this. The point is to be predictable. Not set in stone, of course, like because the point is like showcase the player's skill in the game. That's the point. But when the game becomes unpredictable, that's a big problem. Which is right now with any battle royale is unpredictable. So people might say like, "Oh, battle royale is unpredictable." Yes, but the best players make the game more predictable by just like it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a different type of skill, but it's a skill to make battle royales more predictable when they are by nature are unpredictable. If you guys understand what I mean. But long story short, it's nice that they haven't adding a ranked mode. That's great. I love it. But I already know they're gonna be making some huge mistakes. They're gonna be annoying to deal with, and you're gonna lose rank points and everything for some stupid reason, because they haven't learned their lessons that other developers learned their lessons. That's what I'm afraid of. So first-hand experience, right? You make something, people don't like it, and then you improve. Would you imagine that other developers look at what other games did and like, maybe we should not do that just because we feel like it. Let's try to learn lessons from their mistakes. And we know that game developers don't do that. They make mistakes because they think they know better, which is their work, their development, all that kind of stuff. That's fair. And of course, people are gonna say like, "Oh, why RedSec? Why Battle Royale competitive and stuff? Well, why not multiplayer?" Well, the thing with multiplayer, we don't have a game mode right now in multiplayer that will be considered competitive or interesting to watch to begin with. There's nothing about Battlefield 6 right now that will be interesting to compete in. I saw some domination matches happening. With all due respect, domination matches are not interesting to watch. Let alone play maybe. But even play is probably not even that interesting. The reason we don't have anything multiplayer right now for ranked mode, because we don't have a dedicated mode for ranked mode in multiplayer. Any interest?
I always argued Rush, but that's me.
I do not say no to Rush as a comparative mode, but
look, I would say this would be Battlefield's competitive mode. All right, I know everybody hates this concept of 64v64 Rush, or 32, even 32 Rush.
You mean 32 Rush 32?
Yeah, 32 Rush. I mean, I kind of had a soft spot for 64. Some people.
No, go fuck yourself, Ray. With that shit. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, 32v32 Rush vehicles are allowed, jets are allowed, air support is allowed, and you have 3 objectives per zone that need to be destroyed. I would feel that would be more of an interesting competitive.
Okay, Ray, but how do you measure skill?
By blowing the shit up and winning matches.
So let's carry the shitty teammates to high ranks.
Way there. What shitty teammates?
Well, okay.
You need chaff anyway.
So,
you need bodies.
Okay, so wait. How do you measure skill, and how do you measure who goes up the ranks with 64 player matches? What, winning?
Yeah, wins wins, flags, caps, destructions, and defenses. I would argue.
Okay, so
I would argue wins, attacks, and defenses would be the best ones. Any skill points rewarded towards like defense, if you're defending, or attacking. If you're attacking, arming MCOMs or shit like that would net you a shit ton of fucking points. At least arming the goddamn thing.
Okay, so
because you're playing the fucking objective.
Okay, so 32 players on one flag.
Well.
Try to defend that.
It's been hilarious.
Yeah, but that's not a ranked mode, Ray. I'm sorry. I know what you're trying to do,
but Battlefield, baby.
But it's not a ranked mode, Ray. No one would. Someone would watch that for entertainment one time, and that's it. I know you're trying to be like I understand. Like it's like Battlefield players, like, oh, well, it's about fun and everything. Sure, but at the same time, there's loads of people that just actually want to compete. Like at least have a somewhat decent experience. And people are saying for like, oh, should you have 64 players or 32 players? Like, okay. Listen, I understand where they're coming from, but it has to be reasonable, and you have to also presume that the players that are playing these matches are actually good and they know what they're doing. They're not regular potatoes. So they will good players will abuse the shit of it of specific mechanic or specific I don't know what to call it, rule set, whatever, to gain an advantage, because that's normal. That's the nature of competitive gaming. People will find the optimized way to win a match. So we have to assume that
brings in your predictability. So you would assume that everybody is trying to go for the meta.
Right, but how do you do that with 64 fucking players? But the thing is,
look, I'm gonna put it this way: we have figured out how to do it with sports.
Not 64.
There's no reason we couldn't fix.
Yeah, but not 64.
64 players on one team? No, not really. But I mean 32, yes.
But they're all not on the field, if you know what I mean.
No, but this is a different sport.
God help me.
Broski, you are talking about a competitive firefight. You are going to have some people who are good at some skills and are good in some situations, and people who are just shit, and people who are just infantry, and people who are pilots, and people who are tanks, and people who are, drivers. It's part of, it's what makes the fucking franchise the franchise. You can't argue what's a good player, because we know people that are not the best infantry players in the world, but are fucking awesome pilots. We've known people who are shit infantry, but great tank drivers.
Though. That's a bit different because...
So how would you even begin to measure skill in this game, period?
Right. That's a different conversation entirely, and I agree with that. Thing is, for example, Incursions in Battlefield 1 was the closest we had somewhat to a comparative good Battlefield mode when it comes to 5-on-5 multiplayer, because you had vehicles, you had classes, you had roles, you had destruction, you had objectives. And that was a really good mode for comparative Battlefield. The only thing that is missing from that is the air vehicles. Maybe air vehicles could be, I don't know, a different ranked mode for pilots. That could be kind of interesting too. Because, for example, Battlefield 2 had comparative matches, comparative tournaments for jets. For pilots.
They did it in 4 as well. They were doing it in 4 as well.
I don't remember 4, but Battlefield 2 was really big.
Yeah, there were fucking platoons that were specifically pilots. They had their own scrims and their own air battles and shit. They would do their best in order to set it up on the servers in order to continuously spawn in order to because the air assault mode came out on 4 and it made it so much. No,
was it 3? It was 3, I think.
One of them, yeah, and it made it so much easier for them to be able to do competitive flying in that game. And it was a small scene, but it existed. I mean, I'm not saying the schools of these specific players are that wide open, but there's enough of them that you could say, all right, well, I mean, let's put together let's find the best AGM pilot that we could possibly find, and then let's find the best stealth jet pilot that I could possibly find in order to cover him. That's an optimal thing. You're building a fucking army, essentially. We knew what we were doing when we tried organizing this shit back in the day. We weren't dumb. We had people that were great defenders. We had people that were great attackers. We had people who were great overall across the board, jack of all trades. We had people that were great at specific things with specific guns, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, which is fine, but at the end, you have to, when it comes to comparative tournaments or whatever, you have to scale it down to be reasonable. Because, let's say, we had this conversation. Let's say there's a 64-player tournament happening. How do you even explain what's going on to the audience? How do you track everything? How do you explain everything? You can't. You can't.
Mothball Mom 420 and the Su-22 jet pilot. He is the top tier competitive pilot in Slovenia. I mean,
see, if we take Battlefield Incursions and somehow we add okay, so we had that mode in Incursions.
Oh, and he got randomly blown up by an RPG.
Like, for example, we had tanks and classes and all that kind of stuff, right? Maybe on different maps, instead of a tank, it's a jet or a helicopter or something like that, right? And that can work. Maybe different maps have different layouts and all that kind of stuff. That could create some sort of interesting plays, we play on a different map now, so that means we have to change tactics. Now we have a jet, now we have a tank, or heli, whatever the case may be, right? So maybe we can change that. And the layout of the map, of course, complements that, of course.
Or for God's sake, we only allow so many of them, so that at some point those pilots are then forced on the ground, and then that changes tactics even more. You could go that route.
Well,
You could take and have it so that you still have flag spawns, okay, as far as the vehicles go, because I do like that mechanic. I've always liked that mechanic, that if you capture a flag, you get more vehicle spawns or more other spawns or whatever, or repair stations or shit like that. That's a smart incentive. It's a smart carrot on the stick in order to get people to keep flags held down. I would say that those flags, maybe those are the only ones that have the infinite number of spawns. And if your home base vehicle spawns deplete, the only way your ass get on, is holding the flag.
Again, it's all about scalability. Because, alright, even let's say, imagine, Battlefield is the most competitive esport on the planet. Sure, let's say. Imagine the logistics alone. What a nightmare that will be. Just to organize that shit. Logistics alone is a nightmare.
It is.
And
it's a fucking nightmare.
A lot of esports are still struggling with that. It's just insanity. But going back on the main conversation regarding RedSec Ranked and Battle Royale, all that kind of stuff, Battle Royale is proven to be working as a competitive mode because it does involve loads of people. It creates different stories. It creates different teams with different mentalities and different tactics, all that kind of stuff, different teams, which is loads of participation. And somewhat easy to track, to understand what's going on, because the concept is really easy. Circles shrinking and you kill someone and so on. And it creates interesting fights and all that kind of stuff. That's interesting. So that's why Battlefield RedSec having a ranked mode does make sense. I would love to, for example, Call of Duty kind of does it right in a sense. There's multiplayer ranked and Warzone ranked. And you can switch between them too. I kind of like that. I would love to have Battlefield 6 that has a multiplayer ranked mode and RedSec. I find that really interesting, and I will play both, depending on the mood. But it's just one of those things that, yeah, people gonna bitch, I hate comments like saying like, I found a comment saying like, oh, they're gonna destroy this game by putting resources into this. Well, first and foremost, it's not DICE making this. It's a different studio. And also, different studio, adding another studio, like people are like, well, they can make multiplayer maps. That's not how it works. Just because you have more cooks in the team doesn't mean they're gonna produce more content, more maps or whatever. That's not how it works.
People are thinking that this whole meal is being cooked out of one kitchen, and in reality, it's like this motherfucker is being cooked at KFC, fucking Louisiana Kitchen, motherfucking Zaxby's. Think of every chicken fast food restaurant you got going on. You want some fried chicken, get all that fried chicken. That's how it's going right now. There's different kitchens. So everybody needs to stop thinking that it's a division of resources. It's just more time being put in by one division, one studio.
Also, as I was going through the notes, I just do want to mention that, for example, I do wonder how the rank system will work. Is it going to be more like a team-based scoring, or is it going to be more like individual scoring?
Or are we going to go back to like the archaic shit, like score or skill score, as what BF4 used, which was...
I didn't even know how they even calculated that shit back in the day.
I don't even either.
I'm really curious what kind of system they're gonna use, but I already know it's gonna be a fucking shit show because, again, they're learning. This is their first attempt at doing this. We never had this. And they're gonna make some mistakes. Of course.
You know who I really honestly think they ought to ask in order to find out the answer to this? I don't think this is something that they need to come up with themselves. I think this is something much like the community map project is something that they need to poll everybody on and feel around and ask what would be acceptable.
Yeah,
and just go from that unobjectively. Don't bitch about what the results are. Just do it and let it sail. Be done with it. I feel like that's been a big problem with this game since launch, is we're kind of just fucking around with a lot of shit too much.
Yeah,
setting it, and moving forward.
We have Battlefield Labs. they barely use Battlefield Labs. That's what pisses me off. They barely use it. Use Battlefield Labs for this. Like, it's great that ranked mode is coming, but I'm really worried what kind of scoring system they're gonna have. Is it gonna be one of those systems where you can carry a shitty player to high ranks, which no one wants, or is it gonna be so individual that it's just, for example, because it's a battle royale, right? If I kill a player, do I get the same amount of points no matter what? No matter of the rank they're playing? Like, if I kill a bronze player, do I get the same rank as the same number of rank as I killed a higher ranked player? So
is a kill is a kill, or is a kill a higher ranked of a kill?
You know, do I get less or more? And is it going to be the static number?
I would argue I'm on the side of a kill is a kill is a kill of a kill. Doesn't matter who you are. A kill is 100
yeah,
points.
but it's easier to farm that.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But it's, and I get the argument about having a higher tier killing a higher tier player, you know, affecting your rank more so in what case. If that's going to be the case, then I would argue that should go towards your overall matchmaking and your overall score, because instead of, let's put it this way, where should you get hit harder in the points? If you go fucking 2-7 against a dude who is gold tier and yo ass a bronze, or if you go 2-20 and you go 2-7 and you're the gold player that went up against the lower tier player and got his ass spanked, who should lose more points in that?
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. What they're gonna do.
That's where I say that I should keep it simple and just leave it alone. A kill is a kill is a kill is a kill. That is the only way that I see to solve that ultimate dilemma that I just presented there.
Warzone actually introduced Delta type of thing. So if you do kill a higher ranked player that is above you, you do get more points. But
here's another one to fuck it up even worse. If I get mowed down by that same guy and I'm just a molten lolly infantry player who continuously gets spawned in a fucked up spot, and that tank driver out there just has got a really good HMG.
Well, we're talking about Battle Royale, not multiplayer.
He's fucking... Right, but Battle Royale still has... I mean, right, I get that. But anyway, we're still talking about any kind of skill-based matchmaking for this fucking game anyway. If we're gonna bring it to one, it's probably gonna come to the other.
If it's multiplayer...
So these conundrums are still gonna come up.
See, it's kind of easier to do in multiplayer because it's straightforward. It's not that straightforward in Battle Royale, because you get a mix, a soup of different ranks on the server. In multiplayer...
Then I would say the easiest way to go about that is just... At the higher tiers, you should only be matching with those higher tiers, and the lower tiers should only be coming in order to fill up the bottom end if need be. Which is probably how it's going to wind up happening anyway.
It also, the higher you go, the matchmaking is going to be longer. I mean, for obvious reasons, but do you really want to be in a matchmaker for 10 minutes?
Right. So, again, another reason why I'm kind of like, is this all really worth doing it in the end? Because it's still, I see it as another way of basically cutting the community up.
You know what?
You're going to have those people that are going to sweat and only going to worry about those top-tier ranks and that top-tier shit. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, which is me.
But inevitably, at the end of the day, much like the people who were douchebags and assholes in Grand Theft Auto Online when that game first launched, and then still decided to be up until certain points and go through multiple fucking accounts, because they continuously keep finding themselves in the bad place servers with bad place people and can't figure out why.
So I've been playing...
It's all the same shit,
so I've been playing
RedSec. Nobody's there anymore.
I've been playing RedSec for the last week, and I am extremely frustrated with the teammates I've been getting. So if I play Warzone, for example, I think I replied to someone on the subreddit. If I matchmake someone in Warzone, 70% or 80% chance I will get a teammate that understands the game, right? That understands the game. He might be shit, but he understands the basics and he knows what needs to be done.
At least my dude knows how to press the buttons.
Right. In Battlefield 6, in RedSec, there's a 10% chance I will get that teammate. And the teammates I've been getting, the randos I've been getting, are absolute dog shit players. I'm not talking just like, oh, they're just shit at shooting or whatever, or they're not that good. No. I'm talking absolute brain dead players that have no idea what they're doing. They can't start their contracts, they don't know how to pick up their, anti-tank, or whatever, rotations or something. Like, the most basic shit. You cannot get it in RedSec. I need to...
My man misses pub stomping back in the day.
It's not pub stomping.
My
It's
man.
like when your teammates are absolute dog shit. They're not helping you whatsoever. They're just bots.
Yeah,
I'd rather have a
bitch about
bot.
this a lot in that fucking game. I would. They seem to act a little bit smarter and at least attempt to come fucking revive you, even though they take 5 business days to figure out how to charge the paddles.
Oh my god, not even that.
We won't get into that.
Not even that.
We won't open that can of worms.
I had a player. He was like level 50. My dude was so oblivious to what's going on. I was dead because I got ganked by another squad because... Of course I will. Of course I will be fucking ganked. But somehow he survived. No one killed him. He had no idea how to revive me. He's next to the thing. He pressed it, walked away, realized, oh, I'm just gonna do my own thing. He's still walking around doing shit. And I had to message him, yo, dude, go to the thing, press the thing, and capture it, and I'll be revived. It took 5 minutes for him to figure out how to do it. To revive with the revive station. And there's so many stories like that. I have it recorded just like, how?
I say it to this day, it's a fundamental flaw in how the game is designed and the fact that they took away a lot of community management.
No, this is not a design thing. When it comes to simple battle royale thing, this is not a design thing. This is a user error. I'm sorry, it is.
Right, I get it. You're gonna have your idiots out there, unfortunately, who can't figure out how to drive a car, who can't
90%
figure out how
of them?
to crosswalk properly.
That's a high number.
I know, faith in humanity is dwindling these days, isn't it?
You read the files, huh?
That being said, I still believe that it is a fact of a lack of community management. If we wanted to play on those teams, we wanted to be in a team with people who knew what the fuck they were doing, we were able to organize it very easily back in the day. We were able to put a message out and have a bunch of people come in because we had that ability to do community management, because there were places for people who loved this game in order to talk and hang out in forums and bullshit and shit talk each other and shit post each other, and it was fucking great. And that is what made being able to play this damn game that is focused on team building and team play, instead of playing with a bunch of people who don't know what they're fucking doing because it's randomly match made.
But that's fine. Okay, I'll bring friends. It's not gonna change the fact that 90% of the fucking player base playing this fucking game are stupid.
It's a lot better when more than half the team isn't an idiot and you know who's there at the very fucking least. Because then you could at least spread out who's around. You could have a squad of infantry that's talking with the people who's running a tank squadron, who's also talking to people who's flying a jet. We used to do it back in the day. It was grand. It was great. It was glorious. And this is not just nostalgia talking. This is literally the simple fact that we were playing the game better and we were happier playing it because we were playing with people who knew what the fuck they were doing, because we could organize this shit easily. We can't do that now. The most we can cobble together is a fucking squad, which at its core is kind of the base of Battlefield. But the squad is nothing without the team. If the team is a bunch of dumbasses and the squad is not a bunch of dumbasses, the squad is probably not going to do very well. But even by the ratio of mathematics and the grandeur of it all, if at least 2 of 3 of the squads are competent and organized and chatting together, then the game is going to be significantly better for even the rando 2 squads remaining in the team.
Okay, but
it's just simple math, buddy.
I know you. Again, you're talking from the multiplayer section. I'm talking just for battle royale perspective. I just don't understand what these players.
But again,
I don't
Battlefield's just not fucking designed for fucking battle royale.
The Battlefield community in general is like, and I see it everywhere. Not even from me. I see it everywhere on other communities that play other games, and they all agree that Battlefield community is probably the worst FPS skilled players in the gaming sphere. People are flabbergasted how Battlefield community is dumb. Just not talking. We're not talking MLG fucking pro levels of gameplay. No, we're talking basic shit. Basic shit. And they can't do that basic shit for some reason. So that's why I'm kind of excited for this ranked mode. At least it will filter some people that actually do play the game somewhat properly, and we can have some proper matches, you know. And because there's rank, there's an imaginary number to play for, which is a nice thing to do. But I'm
wondering.
Yeah.
I'm curious if it's maybe not. I don't know. Our generation of players really doesn't. You're my age bracket. Let's be honest.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm a
We
millennial.
were younger lads. The franchise was
I'm
what
a 90s
we
person.
reminisce and what I discussed.
I'm a 90s,
right?
Yeah, I basically live with the dinosaurs.
Right, I'm 80s, so I was around before Jesus.
Oh,
that
shit.
being said, I'm curious if it's not just a matter of stupidity so much as it's a matter of the mechanics are just unfamiliar among other people who've played other games. Let's think about it. Battlefield hasn't had a really big, heavy-hitting title in a while.
Like forever.
Battlefield 2042 was like so under the radar, and nobody really gave a shit about that. The general public, the general player base didn't really give a shit about that. And even going back to Battlefield 5, when we could say the glory days were kind of at the end of the fizzling. Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, 3 days being, I would say, the pinnacle, like right at the peak and press and what have you. But anyway, I'm curious if it's the fact that our generation of players who knew what the fuck they were doing has pretty much moved on. We're not playing it anymore. The new generation of players don't really know anything about Battlefield, and they're unaware of the fact that, oh, there are things in this game that can help you help your teammates.
Because Battlefield,
I'm curious.
I don't think it's that. I think it's a more general thing than the
I just want them
itself.
for shits and giggles to put a fucking survey out. I know people would troll it anyway, but still, just for shits and giggles, put a survey out and be like, how many of you are actually aware you can fucking revive another player? And just gauge the results, just for shits and giggles.
When it comes to gaming communities in general, when it comes to, like, for example, FPS games, there's a big gap there's a really huge gap between decent players and shit players. Back in the day, like, before the 2010s, it was like somewhat a nice, like, curve, I would say. Like, you have, like, shitty players, then you have good players. Like, there was a nice curve, right? It was like a nice curve.
The force was in balance.
Yeah. And now, the gap is so fucking huge. Like, you're either really good, or you absolute dog shit. There's almost nothing in the middle.
I wouldn't even say it's kind of like this thing. I would say it's kind of like a square, okay? Because you can have really good players who are really good teammates. You can have really good players who are really shitty teammates. You can have really bad players that are really shitty teammates. And you can have really bad players that are really good teammates. So, and then you get where I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
That's
like
how
different.
What we've gotten down into, I think it's kind of like the selfish, shitty player who just doesn't give a fuck about reviving people or throwing ammo unless they need the ammo or anything like that. And not me necessarily stupidity. Like, they're just out for kills. They want the dopamine of just shooting a motherfucker, and that's all there is to it. They don't care about flag captures. They don't care about anything else. I want my stats, bro. I think it's been in more of an influx of those type of people than anything else.
No, I remember we had the same discussions back with Battlefield 4.
We did, but it wasn't so much, and it wasn't so...
I don't know about that. Well, okay, granted, the social media...
Am I getting gray hair? Oh, that's my light, I hope.
Granted, the social media kind of makes it look worse than it seems, maybe, but I am getting the impression that the gap between good players and bad players, like, it's either super uber casual, don't care at getting better at the game, and players that actually do want to get bad at the game, they actually get bad at the game and they actually consider it really good. Like, this fact kind of blows my mind that apparently 70% of player base on Warzone never got a win. Or the average KD, the average KD for Warzone is like 0.9 or 8. That's insanity. That's a huge margin. That kind of blows my mind. But yeah.
It's. I mean, okay, like when you're getting into a game mode where your KD is basically it's either going to be 0-1 or you know, a bunch of kills and then one, you're going to die at some point. You have to die unless you win the game. And you're not necessarily constantly winning the game. You're going to have at least one death per loss. So if you play the game a lot, you lose a lot, chances are you're going to die a lot. So chances are KD is going to be negative. So yeah, it really does make sense that the people who are winning a lot are have a positive KD, because you got to kill more people.
No, yeah, because you're winning the game.
Unless you're ratting that shit and just hiding till the end,
which
killing
you
the
can't
last,
technically.
You can. It's happened. I've seen clips. I've seen videos, and I do envy the motherfuckers who are able to get lucky enough to pull that shit off. That dude with that fucking pipe was just.
In Fortnite, there's some very interesting people that love to get wins without shooting their gun. So they
pacifist runs.
They use all the items in the game available to not to shoot the player, but still win the game. Like, you know, like either like pulse grenades or something like that, push them into the storm or whatever the case may be, right? Like the most defensive passive items you can think of, just to not use your gun, which is I find really skillful and fascinating. So that
I like that. Yeah,
that's,
pacifist shit is great.
Yeah, so that's in Fortnite. But yeah, I don't know what to say about it. Just, yeah, RedSec ranked is coming, but I'm just scared they're gonna do the same mistakes. I hope the rewards are kind of cool, though. You know, going up the ranks and everything, because I don't want, like, basic shit. Like, you need to showcase that, hey, this player committed to go to this rank. They should get a skin or something like that that showcases their achievement. I hope they're gonna have some nice rewards.
It's almost like it would be great if instead of just having this one skin that everybody and their mother will have, you would get like you know, serve patches or win patches and shit to put on your gear and around on your soldier.
Yeah,
you've customized with your different pouches and your different plate carriers and your different pants and your different boots and your different gloves that we now have because of 511 Tactical sponsorship with our shit. And I don't understand it, why we don't fucking do it. It just doesn't make any damn sense to me. You'd be making a lot of goddamn money. I'm not even really trying to fucking rhyme here, it's just happening. But anyway, it's stupid. This would be better. I want to choke somebody right now.
I hope they're gonna at least have rewards, like you can have a different soldier skin with your rank on it. Like, a jacket has like in COD, it had, oh, you're gold, so you have gold, I don't know, highlights on the skin or something like that. Oh, you're platinum, okay, you have platinum. You have your diamond, you have diamond, or something like that. Like, it's showcasing that you're this specific rank. At least you achieved it. Which people do love to rock those. Like, imagine a helmet, but it's like has like a highlight saying what rank you are. I think that's cool.
Or you could just incorporate that into your shoulder patches. You know, you just have like the.
But again, we talked about the shoulder patches. You can't see shit in them.
Right, you'd have to make them bigger and more clear and more obvious. But still, I mean, it's one of those things.
We'll see, I guess.
But again, me personally, I'm more about me seeing the character. I don't really give a shit who else sees it. I see it. I don't give a damn. But I don't want to see no furries in my goddamn game. I don't want no motherfucking bunny-eared bastards hopping around.
Why are you hating furries, boy?
Fucking. I'm not hating furries. It just breaks my immersion, and it doesn't fit the Battlefield universe.
What about...
No Beavis and Butthead either.
I don't know. Do you want a PDD skin in Battlefield? I will rock a PDD skin. Okay, I would not. Yeah, we live in a hellhole. I hate this planet, by the way. Did I ever told you I hate this planet? I hate humanity.
I don't know what happened, why this timeline is the way it is, but I'm not sure. I enjoy some parts of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, but it's okay. Battlefield RedSec ranked mode is coming. It will make me happy for 2 days.
But of course, and then we will forget about it and not play it ever again.
Are you gonna help me? Are you actually gonna? No, actually, you'll move and you're not gonna help me. Shit.
I will be busy soon, my good sir. Unfortunately,
for leaving me for fucking douchebag. Unbelievable.
C'est la vie, my friend.
So I have to play with fucking randos to rank up. Ugh. I have to make... you know what? I'll make new friends. Fuck you all. You all failed me anyway. I'll make new friends. I'll expand.
If only they would release a platform where you'd be able to easily talk with fellow
It's okay, Discord will
Battlefield
do.
players,
It's okay, Discord will do.
shitpost, and talk to other people about competitive matchmaking.
It's okay.
We could call it Battle Log.
It's okay. I'll just go and repeat Discord and just ask if anyone wants to play. There you go. I see offers already. I'll let you on the Discord chicken right now. There's people asking if they want a teammate. Fuck yeah.
Fair enough.
Easy. New friends.
All right, I do agree that we should probably close this out about now. We
You wanna do the outro?
We've had our fun. It's been grand. It has been great. I will definitely do the outro.
Bless you.
Thank you, sir. That being said, we thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening to us throughout the entirety of this rambling session of two tired dudes talking about Battlefield 1 podcast. Thank you guys very much for listening. It has been our pleasure in order to entertain you and chat with you and talk to you and share our ideas about this lovely franchise that we hold so dearly to our hearts. For those of us who support us on Patreon, thank you very much for your financial support. It helps us out dearly, greatly, no matter how little you contribute to us or how much. So that being said, I have been Ray with my boy Tom. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week.